Hello and hola to our friends in Madrid that are watching this, our young friends. Lesson 3 already, gosh. The other day I was mentioning the running stitch that we did and the fact that you could do a running stitch going through the different holes than the ones that I showed you. And I just thought I'd show what the actual pattern looks like. So there is the original line of running stitch. And this is what I meant by going through in between. So you're going down a row and you're going into the alternative holes so that it just gives you a slightly different pattern effect. Now the stitch is exactly the same to do, so I don't need to show you how to do it. Today we're going to do a half cross stitch, which looks like this green line on here. So once you've mastered the half cross stitch, we will then go on to do the full cross stitch, but that will be another lesson.
Just before you start, Sue.
Yes.
Who's that sitting by your shoulder on the radiator?
Oh, this is my new pal that I've decided to call Binca. He's rather cute, isn't he? Right, back to it. First of all, you'll notice on here that the ends are starting to fray a little bit. That's the main reason why I say work at least 2 stitches in, because this does happen. And what you can do when you've finished is pull all these loose threads out and you can start to create a little bit of a fringe going round. Right, so we're going to start this half cross stitch. So same principle as before, don't put a knot in the end of it, but hold the back of your work to stop it from pulling right through. So we're going to start in the bottom there, holding about 1 centimetre of thread at the back, and we're going to go, instead of the stitch right next to us, we're going to go into the stitch diagonally above us, and that forms the half cross. Now I'm going to go into the bottom stitch there, remembering to catch that thread at the back. It is very, very simple stitches, this, and when you start to do things like counted cross stitch, this is the basic stitch that you will learn. So this is the stitch for even when you're doing the most complicated cross stitch kits, this is the same stitch. There we go. It really is as simple as that. Now I've caught the back of the end there, so just be careful that you don't drag it through to the front like I've just done. A very, very simple stitch. And just carry along all the way. You might find on this stitch that you need to use just a little bit more of the cotton than you would have done on the other stitches, because it is by going on the diagonal, it is taking up more. So the back of your stitch should look like a straight stitch. And there we have it. Let me just move this out of the way a bit. There we go. Can you see that the back's a straight stitch? So we'll do a little bit more. There we go. Actually, I was going to show you how to do the full cross stitch another night, but I think we can do it tonight because this really is such an easy stitch to do. So imagine that I've gone right the way along to the end. So we've done a full row of the half crosses. To turn it into a full cross stitch, all we do coming back is to go the opposite way. So we're going in through that top hole there. There we go. So we're doing exactly the same stitch that we did before, but we're just doing it in the opposite direction. How simple is that? And again, the back of your stitch will be the same. It will just be a little straight stitch. I hope you're all enjoying these lessons and that so far you've not been too bored at home. I know that you've had lots of schoolwork to do as well, but this is just a little bit of light relief from doing your schoolwork. There we are. So don't do what I've done and just do a little bit. You need to go right the way across. And when you've got all the way across, I've just, the back of my loose bits of thread have just pulled through, so I'm just putting them back. There we go, onto there's a stray one there. This might happen, just pull it back. It's because I've just caught it as I've gone through. There we are.
So that's the 4th stitch, is it, we've done now?
That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we could say the 4th or the 5th, because we had our running stitch there, which we then did the contrast colour going through it. We've got the ordinary running stitch there with the variation in it. Then we've done the half cross stitch but transformed it into a full cross stitch. So already we're picking up quite a few stitches here. So I'm just going to remind you how to fasten off your work at the back when you've finished. So no knots, just put your needle through the back of about 3 stitches like that, and then cut it off with the scissors. I hope you're tuning in tomorrow night for our next instalment. Bye for now.